Hi everyone, welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. I figure I'd make a cup of coffee with you, and I am working on the meditation, a Boro Sashiko inspired Japanese utility apron. So I'm adding another meditation grid to it, and I'm going to bring you with me on that. And we're going to do that in about a minute or two. So I'm going to get some cream for the coffee. And I want to thank you for being with me today. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Oh, there's no one out there. Sorry. But yeah, I thought I would get on here, and we're going to do, I had another idea for this particular apron. And what I shared with you was all of the sashiko stitching and the chakra colors that we were using for the sashiko stitching and what they mean. And that's where we were talking about meditation, the chakra meditation, and using these colors to reflect and to meditate. We had pretty much gotten through the chakra colors, and we got to indigo, and then we did do violet. So we did do the crown chakra. So we are going to kind of go back on in designing the apron. I don't know, there's no one out there. I think what I'm going to do is go, I don't know if I'm live or not. Is there anyone out there? Okay, I think what I'm going to do is actually put this off and come back on, because I'm not sure if I press the right. Oh, there is someone there. Okay. I wasn't sure because I had accidentally pressed the X, and so I didn't know if I went out of it by accident. So hi, how are you? Thanks for being with me. So I was just talking about bringing you along with me with as I'm working on the Boro Sashiko meditation apron. And so welcome to Echo Art with Carmella-T. If you are new to the channel, we create with all recycled materials, fabrics, and supplies. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. So as some of you know, I just got a kitchen table, really it's small, but it's big enough so that I can actually not have to sit on the floor. And I have the apron set up over there, but I have some ideas that are a little bit different than what we were working on. But we are going to do the sashiko stitching, and I'm bringing you along with me. So I'm going to pick this up, and hopefully I think I'll just bring this over first, because this is just kind of make sure that I am not going to be trying to carry two things at once. So this is just, here, I'll put this down for the moment, and so I can talk to you about this. And I'll grab my coffee so we get through the video. So this, some of you might remember, this is the meditation apron that we were working on. This is the pocket that you're looking at. Let me just get it like that. And so it's large. And so, okay, now I'm going to put the camera back up because I am now sitting. And this way I can hold this up and explain to you a couple of things that I am thinking of we're going to do a little different. But today we will do sashiko stitching. And hi Ramesh, how are you? Ramesh, hi, thanks for being with me. So I hope your afternoon is going well. We're already on Tuesday. I mean, we're getting through August way quicker than I like to think about. But so I'm going to put these over here for a moment. And it feels really good to have a table to sit at. I'm going to be honest. This way you can see things too, okay? So, now this meditation, Apron, what we're going to do today is we're going to put green, and for those of you who, let me just say it this way, this is a chakra meditation. For those of you who are new to the channel and you're not sure what this is, it's a chakra meditation apron, okay? And the colors all represent different reflections. And the colors are red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, and indigo blue, and then violet. And we ended with the violet. You see it? We ended with the violet. And then I went around kind of doing the sashiko stitching. Hi, Ramesh. Hi. Thank you for being here. Doing the sashiko stitching in different colors of the chakra. So for like meditation, dimensions of meditation. So this is the idea I had. I'm going to put the camera down because from here, what we'll do is we'll go right into the stitching, another grid. So this is a grid. This is a grid, and I did not want it perfect. I kind of wanted it like moving. I wanted it uneven, like it's moving, like a dimension. Now the circles is what we see a lot in chakra meditation. And I was reading to you in one of the videos, we were going all through chakra meditation before we even began this project. And the circles of energy kept coming up, like they would reference circles of energy in ancient times. So what we're gonna, so I wanted though to, because I had started with the grid, and then as we were researching, it became apparent that the circles were really associated with chakra. But because I did put a grid over here, and it was my own interpretation of a dimension, I want to put another one over here. So today that's what we're doing. So I'm going to put the camera down. I may have to sip on my coffee as we're talking. And what I want with this particular grid is I kind of want it off over here, and I want it to be a little large. Now, I had come up with another idea, and I want to share it with you towards the end of the video. And it has to do with the design of this. I want to add something else to this apron, and it kind of like I kind of took myself by surprise because I wasn't thinking it. I wasn't thinking that I would do anything else but the sashiko stitching, and I came up with something. So I'll show it to you in a moment. But first, okay, so if you're going to do sashiko stitching, ideally people get the sashiko needles. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them online in many places. They get the sashiko thread. Now, because I do recycling and I want to use recycled supplies. If I get the real McCoy and it's all cotton, or it's a sashiko needle, or it's cotton sashiko thread, I'm happier than a pig in mud. I'm happy, happy, happy. However, I do use the embroidery needles, so you want to make sure they're long, because some of the embroidery needles can be really short, like this one. Okay, you see how short that is? So they come in all sizes. So you want to get the longer, and the reason you want the longer one is you want to be able to grab a number of stitches at a time, because that is sashiko stitching. So anyway, with that, you can do a couple of things. If you're doing the same thing that I'm doing, you're doing, making an apron, doing sashiko stitching, you can draw your own grid and make it perfect, or you can get patterns because they have specific patterns, or you can do like I'm going to do freehand, which I love. That's what I want to do. And I would like it to be on an angle. So now the other thing, yeah, you could draw it on there, you know, or you can just kind of simply kind of go up on an angle. But I want mine on an angle. You see how I'm grabbing all of these stitches? That is sashiko stitching. That is what it is. So typically I would be holding this in my hand, but I'm not because I want to show you. Let's bring this a little, we'll bring this just a little closer so you can see. Okay, so this is on an angle, and I don't know if the camera's really picking that up. Now, you notice here, there's a couple of little stitches that are not perfect. Sashiko stitching is not perfect. And that's what I totally love, love, love about it, is that you can work on it and you inherently are getting the goal done of whatever it is you're doing. Nowadays, it's designing. Back in the 1400s, it was mending, repairing, reinforcing, and like that. So now when you take the needle and you go under, you're going to the back of the fabric. Okay, we're going to pull this to the back of the fabric. A couple of things. You want to give it a little thought. If you're, put that down, if you're continuing this line, you want to make a jagged line, so you want to come back, so you would come up over here, but what I want to do is kind of bring it out a little bit more even, okay? So I'm going to come up over here in the next, and I'm going to use my fingernail as kind of a width type of measure, and you can use a ruler, you know, you can use whatever you want. But for me, that's about what I want. So now, you know, the next big project we're going to do is a kawandi. We're going to do a kawandi inspired, which I love, love, love. And we may do it next. We'll see how fast I get all of my aprons done, and I'm really moving along. I'm going to be honest. These were really already done. So I've just been enhancing them for the Sustainable Fashion Show. I'm enhancing them. Okay, now the other tip I always give people who are just starting their sashiko stitching is when you're going to be doing a row, if it feels awkward on the angle that you're on, turn the piece around. It's perfectly okay. Okay? And so now I'm starting my next row, and I'm going to be showing you something with this. Okay, I'm not continuing to the end of the row. I am not continuing to the end of the row. By the way, because this is our meditation apron, guess what? This is our chakra color green. And do any of you know what the chakra color green is? You remember what it is, or do you know what it is? Okay, so it's your heart area, your chest area. It is compassion. It's compassion. So typically, I would hold this like this. It's compassion, gratitude, forgiveness, you know, thankfulness. So this is as far as I'm going on this one. Okay, here. But I mean, I'm for that particular row. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give these a little tug. I just want to make sure they're all pulled through really nicely. And so I always do that. And then I'm going to do a little back stitch. I'm doing a back stitch, you see? And I'm coming in the back here. Now, because I want my rows to be a little bit uneven, I just do. That's how I want to do this particular grid. I'm going to bring the needle up a little bit past this row. So I'm coming from the back. That's the best way you can do it. And just kind of pick the place that you're really comfortable, or mark it, or however you're doing your particular grid. And for me, I'm bringing it up here. I'll show you here. Okay, So see, it's here. Now it's a little bit past that one. So now for me, I just want to turn it a little bit at an angle so I can be comfortable doing my sashiko stitching. So I'm just going to start stitching this way, and I'll just leave it down here so you can see me. So I'm grabbing a number of stitches at a time. This is 3. I think that was 3. This is 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6. And this is difference between sashiko stitching, visible stitching, and the embroidery. With embroidery, you're typically doing a stitch at a time. You are concerned if it's straight, you're concerned if it's right, which is okay. It's a totally different skill. So with this, you can see, okay, so let me just continue here before I say. I'm just going to continue this row, and I'm going to stop it right here. I want to stop it because I want this grid to be, I don't want it to be even rows. So I can do a back stitch, and that kind of gives the row a little lock, you know what I mean? You don't have to. You can just go in the next stitch and bring the needle down in the back and bring it back up where you want it. So I'm just going to do a little back stitch, and then I'm going to bring it up over here. I'm going to bring it up a little bit past that row, give it a little space, just a little bit past. And then we're going to do some horizontal too. So I'm going to move my coffee because I don't want it to spill on my apron. That is a good cup of coffee. Sometimes the coffee is just perfect. It's just perfect sometimes. I don't know. I think it's the time of day. It's like if you've been doing a lot of work and you just, you know, haven't had a lot of coffee today or something. Okay, so we're going to go back. And what I plan to do is, I don't know, it's almost like a song. I know that sounds weird, but you know how you have the verses and you have different ways with the song that you sing it. It's almost like that with your art. But the top part of this apron, I wanted, I picked a completely different design. It's like ridiculous. I don't even know. I don't know if I'm going to do it. We'll see. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do my last stitch on this particular row, and I'm going to make it a back stitch. And then I decide where do I want to bring my my needle up. I want to do a few more rows, but this particular next row, I want it to be shorter than these. I just want it to be shorter, okay? So I'm going to come all the way in. I'm going to show you where. You got to be careful. You see how this was tucked under there? Pieces, it is. I'm telling you, it's easy to accidentally sew one piece to another that's not supposed to be there. If that happens, just give it a little clip, pull it out, tie till you've got a tail where you can tie, and then rethread and continue. Okay, so now this one's going to be really short. Move it so I can, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all I want. That's all I want on this one, see? I want it to be dramatically shorter. You see it right there? You'll notice it as we go on. So I'm going to do a little back stitch. A little back stitch. And I look at my front because I want to make sure I know where I'm bringing my needle up. And I'm going to just kind of come up a couple of stitches past that. And then we're going to start doing some horizontal stitches because we're running out of thread. Why did I not make the thread super, super long? Because if you do, you risk the chance of it knotting up. It will knot up. It knots up on me if I make it too long, and I'm like, oh man, I made this too long. It reminds me I definitely made it too long. Okay, so I'm just turning this again just to get a better angle and a better view. And, you know, with sashiko stitching, when they worked this method in the 1400s of mending, repairing, and reinforcing fabrics, they did not necessarily go slow. That's a whole new concept, contemporary concept. Yes, were they mindful in making sure the garments of their loved ones were sewn and, you know, ready for them to wear the next day? Yes, yes. That's where the mindfulness definitely comes in. Okay. So now, let me just pull this up here. I want to make this one a little bit shorter, partly because I know I don't have much thread left, you see? So I'm going to turn this, and then we're going to hold it up. And then I'm going to rethread the needle. And then we're going to do some horizontal. We'll do some horizontal. And I kind of want to show you, now this is also called free form. It's called free form sashiko stitching. Because we are not using any kind of pattern. We can go any direction really we want. Okay, so in the back here, I'm just going to bring my tail through the back part of a couple of stitches there. I'm going to make a nice little knot, but I'm going to not pull it tight, 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 because I don't want, like if you sell a piece and then they dampen it, let's say they spray it and dampen it because they're going to wash it, you don't want everything pulling, especially if it's cotton or it's wool and they used hot water. What you just kind of, and you want to leave the tail long. And, you know, give it a good couple of inches. So this is what we did. You see how it's all uneven? And I'm loving that. That's what I want. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you what I have left. This, look, you see that? That's what the green was on. You see, this is what I have left of the green. And so that's okay. I mean, this is going to work totally. And we're going to just rethread. We're going to rethread. These are great, by the way. If you use these right, look, there's a couple things you can make with these. You can make a really kind of hefty, run-tunned kind of a gnome for Christmas, okay? You can make a little decorative birdhouse because it's cardboard, it wouldn't really work outside. Or you can use it, which I do a lot, I use them to do my tracing of my circles. If there's something I really do want to trace, I will use those. So it's like that. You can just keep them as a little supply for yourself. A little art supply or tool. You can make so many things out of that. There's so many hacks on these. So many. Maybe one day we'll go through the hacks. on YouTube. I'll do some research on them. I'm just thinking off the top of my head what I would do with those. Okay. So I put my knot in, and now, I'm sorry that keeps slipping. And now I'm going to start from the back of the apron, okay? And actually I do want to turn it. I want to turn it. And I'm going to start down here. I'm going to start in the bottom row. I could start anywhere, really. I could make just the vertical, or depending which way you're holding this, but vertical sashiko stitches, running stitches through part of it. Now I'm going to tell you what I love about the grid of sashiko stitching in the free form. I'm going to show you actually. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going past, okay? I'm going past the said grid that I just made. Okay, we just made a asymmetrical grid. I'm going past it. See? And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do a little back stitch because I want to end that row. Okay, see? And I'm going to bring it up because I want to make this a little bit longer. And when I come back down, and that's okay that you have what they call a long stitch. That's what they use in Kantha, is long stitches. Just make sure when you do a long stitch that it's not looping or knotting in the back. So I'm going to move this stuff here. I love doing these grids. I can't even explain it. It's just the raw, artistic, just the idea that you can make something so artsy just so quickly. So, okay, I'm going to go down this way. Now, what I can do is also go on a diagonal. Okay? Now I'm going to go down here way past these. You see I did a lot of stitches here. I probably did 8 right there. And you can catch. I mean, that's sashiko stitching. The experts will do, oh my gosh, way more than 8. And they work right in the top woven layer of the denim. They just are, it's fascinating. I'll try to get permission to see if I can get that shared on this channel with you. Okay, so now I'm going about a fingernail width between where I just ended here. I don't know why I keep moving, but I'm sorry about that. But I'm gonna go a fingernail width between where I just ended there, and I'm coming up. I want to come back up because I want to shorten this next vertical row. And I want to shorten it because that's the design that I'm doing. I'm doing a grid that is not even. It's not even, it's not perfect, but it's beautiful. And you can almost, you see, do your whole row with just your one run of gathering. Okay? So, how many of you out there are doing some sashiko stitching projects or some Boro inspired projects? Is there anyone out there working on one right now? Okay. So now I've got the needle in the back. It's in the back of the fabric, and I can decide now, do I want to come up, a little bit closer here to the grid? And I think what I'm going to do, just to kind of be a little feisty, is I'm going to bring it close into the grid here, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 rows. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 3 rows that are staying well within the bounds of the original horizontal grid. Okay. And so it's going to be short. It will be really short. But that's what I'm going to do. And so anyway, green is a reflection of gratitude. And we did talk about that a little bit, but so I'm just going to turn this again. I'm so happy that I have a table. Now, okay, for this particular one, you see right here, I am now, when I'm turning, you've noticed me turning when the needle is in the back, okay? The reason I'm turning now with the needle and the thread on the top part is because I am staying in the same even row. So I can actually make a nice little horizontal running stitch and then continue vertically. So you can do it all in one little swoop there. And if you do, you just want to pull that a little tight, because if you don't, it's not going to be straight. It will kind of be off for some reason. So now I'm going to do more stitches here, and I'm ending again on a nice even row, because that's what I want to do right now. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm staying, this is just a design I'm making up. I'm just staying like that. I am making one horizontal stitch, and then, or vertical, depending which way you're looking at it, right? And then coming this way horizontal again. And then what I want to do in this next row is I definitely want to end this with my needle in back of my fabric, okay? I'm ending it with the needle in back of the fabric because I want to come up in a different place, okay? So that's how I'm going to do it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull it into the back all the way through, okay? You see? So we did 3 rows right here. 1, 2, 3. And they're nice and even. So now here's our needle. We got enough thread. So now what I want to do, look, we're not doing this on purpose at all, right? But it could be an abstract shape, like of a person, of a pet, an animal, a tree, a flower. You can do lots of different things. So I'm going to come up, I'm going about a fingernail width again between them, and I'm going to come up a little bit over because I don't want the same length of the row. So, and that's how we're look at how far we've gotten on this grid. This is real time. So we're doing really, really well. And you see how I keep going like this? That's because I'm making sure that the straps like this, or the corners, or any part of it is not tucked in underneath itself. Because when that occurs, then, you have to go and you have to, clip it, and you got to sew it again because you accidentally sewed it to itself. Which is really easy to do. Okay. So now this is doubling up, and I am just going to continue like this. I want to bring this out a little more again because I want the next row to be a little longer. I am not making anything in particular. This is a subconscious. It is abstract, and it is just because I want it like this at the moment. And I think that's a lot of fun to create your art like that. So this one I kind of want to just stop right there. I just want to stop it right there. And I want to keep it in the front, and I want to bring it up. Actually, I have to turn it because of the angle I'm at. So, to turn it, and I'm bringing it in, and I'm going to do a shorter row right here. Okay, and then we'll have completed our beautiful green chakra meditation for gratefulness, thankfulness, compassion. You know, these, it's not easy to forgive necessarily, but it's definitely, in my opinion, a wonderful spiritual item to have on your focus list. And to, you know, revisit, and just kind of making that decision kind of is number one step. And then from there, it's kind of home free, because you just kind of, you know, you forgive and you let go. You just let go. Because you can't control, right? We can't control everything. Okay, so, but you know, as you're doing your chakra meditation, not worried about the skills, not worrying about your technique, just kind of doing the stitches and going the way you want to go. It just feels so really wonderful. Okay, so this one I'm just going to bring in the back, and I'm going to end that, and then I'll hold it up. And this one, I should have made the tail a little bit longer, but we've got this as long as, you know, we tuck it in, a running stitch next to it. We make it so it's not easy for it to have a memory. You know, you kind of weave in and out and go back and forth, and then make a little knot, you know, so the thread can't work its way out. So, here we go. Okay. So I'm going to put this up. Hi. Thank you. So I'm going to hold this up. And let's see here. Okay, there it is with the green. I really like that. Okay. Now I'm going to share with you an idea that I have for this. Okay. Now I don't know if a lot of, see this part up here, right up here, I wanted to do more sashiko stitching. And then I tried something, and I'm going to show it to you. So I'm going to put this back down. Okay. So some of you, if you've been with me a little while, or if you even go back on the videos in the channel, you will find different projects with the yo-yos. Okay, where we made yo-yo quilts. So I wanted to kind of just play around with the idea after I had tried this on, and I'm like, first of all, what would it look like with the yo-yos? Okay, and I'm thinking kind of just not in a row, but kind of staggering and overlapping. And I saw, okay, wait a minute, I have violet, I have indigo, I have red. So this is a variation of red. It's got kind of some pink. But then, so I went to my bin coffee over there. And I wanted to see if I had the other colors of chakra. And I have orange. Now I just happen to have this circle cut, and in the next video I will give you the measures. I don't think I'm going to use this. This is one of the larger ones that I used. And because I think this is 16 inch, it might be 18. But when you do your make your yo-yos, what happens is they come out about half the size. And I think that's what this is here. I think this is a 16, and so this is an 8. And these are 4-inch diameters. So for your 4-inch diameters, you want an 8-inch diameter circle to start with. Now, so I was just looking through my fabric, and I'm like, okay, I have indigo here with a variation of red, it's pink. But I have this wonderful fabric a friend of mine gifted me with. Look, it has all the chakra colors. Okay, now granted it has white in it, but it does have the yellow and the red and the blue. Okay, it has the variations of chakra, which is good. But I was looking for sharper colors. So I found these. I have a little bit of this. So I think I have enough of this to make some of the yo-yos. And I have enough of this. Now granted, when you have this type of fabric, this is a blend, synthetic, and it's silky. It's a silky. And you are definitely going to get a different texture. You're even going to get a different fall of the way the fabric falls, which is a lovely, by the way, with the silky. It's a lovely. I love it. And I'm totally fine with mixing them. No problem. I can use the woven cotton, and I can use the synthetic silky. And so the only thing with the synthetic silky is when you are sewing your yo-yos. So it's going to go super fast, but you also have to hold on to it and, you know, take your time until you're really oriented in how to do your yo-yos. So I have this bright green. And guess what? I had red sitting in there. And I had indigo blue sitting in there. I am so thrilled. I can't even tell you. And then I have another silky blue. So this is what I'm thinking with just thinking of adding them. Now what I might do is just give them some the typical way I would add these, by the way, is with tie knots. Okay, let me put this up. So sorry about that. So the typical way I would add a yo-yo to a piece of fabric or to the quilt when we did our yo-yo quilts is with tie knotting. So you're just working with the central part of it, or yeah, you can put a tie knot here, here, and here, and here. But what I'm thinking is maybe I go around a couple of times with some running stitches. I'm thinking of it. And so I'm loving the idea of just adding those. Now we'll see. We will see, because what I'm going to do is continue stitching these Boro, the Sashiko stitching on just like we did. I want to put some more circles. I want to put and I was thinking, I want to be careful with this, but because I'm really loving this part of it, where the, let me just put this on so I can describe it. So this part of the apron, okay, right here, this is lovely. I love it. And this part is where I'm thinking, let me get these, kind of staggering the chakra colors just kind of all at the top here, I think it would look really cool, especially if these have, I don't know, I mean, maybe the running stitches or maybe not. It's definitely an experiment. So with that, I just wanted to bring you with me today on this. Do a little meditation stitching. As a viewer who had asked about it, I told her, I said, yeah, when we started this project, I said, guess what? I want to keep that on the agenda. I do. I don't want to just have that be a one-time video or one-time project. You know, maybe we come back and we talk about a chakra and what the colors mean, and maybe it gives you some inspiration to reflect a little bit. I really believe that when you clear your mind and you bring it to a positive place and you do it while you're creating whatever it is you're creating and you get in the zone, I think it's the healthiest thing for you, right? Spiritually, I really, really do. Holistically, because guess what? When your mind is calm, your body is calm. And when your body is calm, your heart is beating with a rhythm that is nice and healthy. That's my logic. So anyway, with that, I'm thinking of these, and or I may surprise you, come up with something else. So I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope that you have an absolutely beautiful day. And I send you love and light, and thank you for being with me today.